Secret Service Sam here with a Karmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf trial update. Now, earlier in one of my videos, I mentioned that Morris Dwayne Turner had informed me that Jeff Metcalf, the DA, and Judge Roach all knew each other. We're friendly together. And now we have that proof. Look at this photo. This is a photo of Jeff Metcalf, John Roach, the judge, and Greg Willis, who is the DA. Conflict of interest, anyone? I don't know. I am still working to verify this picture. I entered it in ChatGPT. It says it doesn't seem to be fake. If anybody out there can confirm this picture for me, I think that is also very important because we need to keep the truth at the head of all of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president of the world.
Now, you guys that watch me know that I always come with the smoke, right? And I come with the facts. We go into the classroom and we break this stuff down. Now, there's a lot of things circulating and I can't prove it. You have people that saying that they paid to see the video. They went into the school and saw the video. Well, in the courtroom, the judge, the lawyer, Mike Howard, there's no 4K video. They didn't play it. So I don't know if these people are telling the truth. I don't know if they're lying. I'm not going to come before the people and say something that I can't prove, right? I don't know who those people are, right? Whether they're black or not. So I don't know if we can trust them, right? And if they're out here lying and putting stuff on social media, they're doing more damage than good, right? Now we're seeing images of, they're saying that the DA, the judge, and Austin Metcalf's father were all friends. They were all chums or knew each other. That's a direct conflict of interest. Now, if this is a factual thing and this is true, then this is real bad because this case happened over a year ago and they would have all known this already. They would have all known this. So now the defense rests and now it's going into the jurors to start deliberating whether he's going to be guilty or not. We don't know, but there's a lot of things circling around this situation, man. And it's real bad. Now, that black guy that came and said that he saw the video, he's a registered ex-offender. So, this thing gets real goofy. But let's look at what the news is reporting.
We start today with breaking news from the track meet stabbing trial of Karmelo Anthony. After a 3-hour break in the middle of today's proceedings, the defense has rested its case now. Our senior crime and justice reporter, Rebecca Lopez, is coming to us from the Collin County Courthouse this afternoon, where she has been watching the trial all day. Rebecca, this phase of the trial is coming to an end, both sides resting. Did that come as a surprise to folks that the defense wrapped up so quickly?
Jason, it did come as a surprise to many of the courtroom observers because many anticipated that the defense would go a little bit longer and that Karmelo Anthony could possibly take the stand, but we didn't hear from him, and we also didn't hear from Hunter Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's twin brother. The defense ended its case by calling 2 student athletes and a Frisco police detective before court unexpectedly broke for nearly 3 hours. One Centennial student testified he saw what appeared to be a push moments before Austin Metcalf was stabbed. Another Frisco student described track meets as highly social events where athletes often visit other teams' tents. Jurors also heard from a detective who reviewed witness interviews and phone evidence during the investigation. When court resumed, both sides rested and officially closed the evidence. That means jurors never heard from Karmelo Anthony himself. They also, again, never heard testimony from Austin Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter Metcalf. The decision not to call Anthony is significant, but legal experts note the defense is not required to prove his innocence. Under the law, the burden remains entirely on prosecutors to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Now, I want you guys to understand something here. This thing, I keep telling you guys that this thing is political, man. And y'all play too much. We play way too much, right? Now, the DA, Greg Willis, he's elected by the people, right? He's a district attorney. District attorneys are partisan elected officials who must face voters in both primary and general elections to serve 4-year terms, right? So now he has to be voted. Willis, he serves as the criminal district attorney in Collin County, Texas, right? He has to win votes of the public to hold and maintain office, right? That's one thing. Then you got the Judge Roach, right? District Judge Roach, who was presiding over the Karmelo Anthony murder trial in County, Texas, he's a publicly elected official. Texas judges are elected by the registered voters in their specific county in partisan elections, right? So now, as a judge, he runs for office on a general election ballot box, right? The voters in Collin County choose who serves on the bench, not fellow judges or attorneys, right? So this thing is crazy. So then when you ask, okay, so Greg Willis, he gets to pick the DA that's going to handle the case. Bill Werski and Dewey Mitchell, they're selected by Greg Willis, who's selected by the people. So now in that county, the majority of the people are white folks. And they're going to go immediately and say, hey, if you don't get us justice here, you won't be on the bench. Judge Roach, you'll be out of here. You're going. You got to skedaddle. Judge Willis, we just won't put you here. Because there's no way you're going to allow a black boy unalive a W boy in our county. We're not having that. So he never had a fair trial. There's no such thing as a fair trial because there's not black representation there. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? They go and say, you will lose your seats. You will lose your positions. We're going to get you up out of here. And that's why they get the media to sway it. He's guilty into proven innocent. And the media, look at Fox News and all the media. This thing is political at its core. At its core. And they were even saying that Austin Metcalf's father was going around harassing people.
Looks like Jeff Metcalf had something to get off his chest, and he took it right to Karmelo's dad's Facebook to do so. So just recently, Karmelo's dad, Drew Anthony, shared a family photo, this picture right here. And in the comments, Jeff Metcalf took it upon himself to write this. He said, you raised a unaliver. Guess you're one proud parent. Drew Anthony responds, self-defense is not unaliving. Stop coming to my place of employment and tell your team to stop harassing me and my family, and you know the truth. You will see in court. God bless you. Self-defense is not unaliving. Now, no one can tell no one how to grieve, especially if you have not been in this situation, so I will not do that. I am sure that Jeff is hurting bad, and he's just probably going off the rocker, which any parent probably would. But some stuff is just better to take it up in court. It's safer to take it up in court. It keeps the drama down surrounding the case. This is just crazy. And you already know that in the past, I posted this video where Jeff Metcalf popped up at the Anthony's press conference, and then Dominique Alexander had this to say.
If that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family. But he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words.
And weeks after that, he also had a long Facebook rant argument with Dominique Alexander on his page. So it's clear that Jeffrey is lashing out with grief, which is understandable, but the Anthonys might need to get a restraining order on him just until the trial. If he's popping up at their place of employment and anything like that, that's kind of dangerous. I feel like Karmelo is already charged and indicted with the unaliving of Austin. There's nothing more that his parents can do. He is being held accountable for his actions, and he is allowed to have his fair day in court.
But let's go back and let's go back and look at some more of what the news was also is important, because this news media is crazy. Now, like I tell you, you got people saying that they saw a video, but is Mike Howard down with us? Is Mike Howard representing Karmelo Anthony the right way? I don't know.
Now that the judge is working with the attorneys to come up with that charge that is going to go to the jurors, and they might be given an option besides murder to consider. So for murder in Texas, the jury would have to believe that Karmelo Anthony intended to send Metcalf. And they might also be given an option of manslaughter to consider, in which case they might need to believe that his actions were reckless that led to his death. But if they come up with self-defense, then that would mean a not guilty verdict in that case. The jury is being told to pack a bag, come back tomorrow. Closing arguments are going to begin at 9 a.m. If they do not come to a verdict by the end of the day, they will be in a hotel and they will be sequestered without a TV and without even any cell phones. Caroline?
Now, did Karmelo Anthony take the stand today in his own defense?
He did not, and that is interesting. I have heard many legal experts talk about this debate of whether someone takes the stand in their own defense or not. A lot of times that can be kind of the desperate last attempt move. If you really feel like your case is not going in a good direction, you'll put your client on the stand. But a lot of times if you feel like things are going well, you won't put your client on the stand. So it'll be interesting to see. Jurors are told, though, of course, that they're not supposed to read into the fact that Karmelo Anthony did not take the stand.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that live report, Lori. We appreciate it.
Even Charleston White was talking about the character of the father and Austin Metcalf, when he was alleging that Austin Metcalf had broken the father's arm. He was suspended from school. He was on substances, at the time. He had it in the system, right? Now, we have no way of knowing if this stuff came out in court, right? But again, I showed you guys where the judge, the DA, right? Forget the picture in the beginning with them knowing each other. That's all alleged. We can't prove it yet. But the judge is elected by the people. The DA is elected by the people. The people want Karmelo in jail for life. That's what they want. So there is no fair trial here. But where's your Democrats at? They too busy being redistricted. Charleston White spoke on this, and he met with the father, and he said this.
That's an honorable black man and an honorable black mother who have their children in the same household, unlike the Metcalf family. Austin Metcalf and his brother had been suspended the week before. That's why they didn't know Karmelo was under the tent. It wasn't Karmelo who had been suspended. It was Hunter and the Metcalf brothers who had been suspended. Why? They left track practice, according to the coach, and went fishing. So the coach lied and said, well, I technically didn't suspend them. I just gave them. Well, they're saying that Austin was given permission to run the tent. No, he wasn't. The coach just told him, step up and be a leader. He didn't run the tent. Those are lies that's being told, so y'all follow me. So the Metcalf brothers didn't recognize who. They were suspended last week. The kid who says, oh, I didn't know Karmelo, have text messages that prove that, guess what? He used to call Karmelo, hey, come pick me up, sir. Let's go play basketball together. Karmelo and this kid got multiple pictures, at least 9 different pictures that were presented to the jury to prove that the state's witness lied about not knowing Karmelo. Then Karmelo's mother took a picture that blew their mind. So how can a kid with epilepsy, and by the way, he never brought a knife to school. It was a tool. What kind of tool? A Boy Scouts tool. And it wasn't 6 inches, it wasn't 4 inches. It's a little small tool, compact tool. What kind of tool they call it in Mexico?
A multi-tool.
A multi-tool that the Boy Scout uses.
You got screwdrivers, everything on it.
Wasn't a knife. It wasn't a knife. But since you guys can't go to the trial, you can't be in the trial, you're not talking to nobody that's reliable in the trial. So let me just break this all the way down. A black man has a gun, he gets killed. I thought we get to have guns. A black man says, put your hands on me and watch what I do. That's a threat. Well, according to all the witness statements in the beginning and now, that during the whole altercation, Karmelo Anthony never stood up. He never stood up. As a matter of fact, the Metcalf brother had to come 3 rows up to come confront him. Karmelo never got up. Karmelo never said, touch me and see what happens. That's what the initial report says. He never stated that. So this is what they've coached the kids up. They brought in the lies. Why? Because all the coaches went to the high school. But one thing you cannot deny initial police statements. I'll tell Sarah win again.
So I'll say, let's brace ourselves for a crash landing. We don't know how this is going to play out right now, but it don't look good, because I'm looking at this from a political perspective. Those jurors, if they find Karmelo Anthony not guilty of all charges and acquit him, they got to go back home to their counties. They got to go back home to their people. They got to go back home to their families. See, when we talk this FBA stuff, and I say it's not just a lineage, it's a lifestyle, now it shows its ugly face. You got black people that are so traumatized and beaten down and downtrodden that they will go along with whatever master say. And they'll come out here, yeah, you Judge Joe Brown, they'll come out here and say anything against black people because they hate young black boys. A lot of black people do. This black boy came from an intact family, home, family doing well, was a great student. The other home was broken. But for some way, even black people, because Master told you to dislike Karmelo, you're going to dislike Karmelo. Because you look at your people through the same stereotypical lens that this W man looks at us through. You're traumatized people, man. But brace yourself for a crash landing, man. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.